Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexa Today Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today I have a seated yoga flow for you. So go ahead and find a comfy seat. Hit the like and subscribe buttons down below and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. Now, I will be doing this practice on a meditation pillow, which you can do as well, or you can grab any pillow or prop to put underneath of you to make it a little more comfortable to sit here for a little while. You can also do this practice in a chair or on your couch. Now, if you're going to sit in a chair or on the couch, I highly recommend scooting forward so that your feet are firmly planted on the floor and your back is away from the back of the chair or the couch so that you can sit up nice and tall. Now, we'll begin our practice by getting comfortable in our spot. Pressing into the sit bones so that we can rise tall through the spine, lifting through the top of the head. And we can have our hands open, palms up on our knees, or wherever they naturally want to fall. Lift the shoulders up to the ears. Work them back and down the spine. We'll do two more. So we're almost moving the shoulders in a circle. Forward, up to the ears, back and down. We can close the eyes. We can keep them open, allowing the vision to be soft. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Grounding into our seat. Pressing or connecting our feet to the floor. With our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms out to the sides and then up towards the ceiling. We'll wiggle the fingers. We'll circle out the wrists. We can ball the fingers in towards the center of the palm, forming a fist, and then spreading the fingertips out nice and wide, wiggling and moving the hands, the fingers, and the wrist around. Now we'll move our thumbs in towards the center of our palms and we'll wrap our other fingers around, tucking our thumbs in towards the center. And we'll find some circles here. This is great if you spend a lot of time on the computer. Good, and then we'll splay the fingers out nice and wide and wiggle them around a little more. Now we'll drop the fingertips to the shoulders. Still pressing into our seat. We're wanting to move just the upper body. Take the elbows out to the sides, out towards a T. And we're going to find a swimming motion. Starting with our left elbow, we'll reach it out in front of the body as we pull the right elbow back behind. Now circle the elbows around to bring the right elbow out in front and the left back behind. We'll continue this, drawing big circles out to our sides with our elbows, reaching as high as we can as we come through center, as far back as we can, and move at a pace, at a rate that feels right to you and your body today. You might notice a spot that's a little sticky, and you can take a little more time in that spot, or you can continue to make circles at an even pace. Now we're going to switch directions and swim backwards. So we're doing the same thing, just moving in the opposite direction. Good. Now we'll bring both elbows towards each other. Maybe to touch, maybe not to touch. Either is all right. Out in front of the body. As we do so, we're pressing back through the spine, and we're trying to put as much space between our shoulder blades as we can. So we're drawing the shoulder blades away from each other and rounding and pressing back through the spine. Now open the elbows. We're going to do the opposite. We're pulling the shoulders together as much as we can behind the back, pulling them in towards the spine. So we have a lot of space between the collarbones and the front of the chest. We'll do one more of each. Bring the elbows together out in front. A lot of space between the shoulder blades. And then open the elbows. Open the space across the front of the chest. Pull the shoulder blades in together. Good. We can drop the hands and wiggle them out. You may already start to feel this in the shoulders and the upper body. We can roll the shoulders or find some shrugs or just dance around a little bit to reset. Now we'll drop our left hand down beside us. If you are seated in a chair and are able to hold on to the edge of the chair, you can do that. If you have nothing beside you to put your hand down on, you'll place your hand on top of your knee instead, or you can bring it around to your right hip to help with the balance a little bit. Whichever variation we're taking, we'll sit up nice and tall again, and we'll reach our right hand down and away from the body, and then we'll move in a big half circle shape, up and over, and then towards our left side. Finding a nice big stretch up the right side of the body. And we're going to take a few breaths focusing on that right side, filling our right lung as much as we can. So as we deepen our in-breath, we're feeling a little bit more of a stretch, a little more of an opening along that right side. Good. With our next in-breath, we'll circle back up and drop our right hand. Wiggle out to reset, and we'll do our other side. Again, we can drop our right hand down to the floor or to our seat. We can place it up on our knee, or we can wrap it around towards our right hip, towards our left hip, sorry. We'll reach our left hand away from the body and move in a big part circle up and over towards the right side. And again, we'll focus on our breath on this side, fully filling the lungs with air and allowing our breath to deepen the stretch. With another in-breath, lift back up. Now send both arms up towards the sky. With our exhale, we'll move to our cactus pose. Draw those shoulder blades in together at the spine. Splay the fingertips out nice and wide. And we can start to slide our eyes up the wall in front of us. Or we can find a little bit larger of a back bend, still a baby back bend, but a little bit more of a back bend by lifting the chest up as well and taking the eyes towards the sky. Now, if we have moved the eyes or the chest, we'll bring them back out in front of the body. Pull those elbows back a little bit more. And with our exhale, we'll drop the hands down behind our bodies. Now, again, depending on how you are seated today, if you can hold onto your chair or place your hands down on the floor or on the bed or couch behind you, that's great. If not, if you're a little stuck in your space here, you can cross the hands in front of each other or interlock the fingers. And we'll do about the same thing, just a little bit more in our space. Take up a little less space with this movement. Now, whichever variation we're in, we're going to plant our hands down. And then, like we're taking the biggest breath we've ever taken, we'll lift the chest, pull the shoulder blades into the spine, and slide the eyes up the wall in front of us. We're pressing forward with the rib cage, lifting up with the chest. And again, a few breaths to help us deepen the stretch. And with our next exhale, we'll roll the shoulders forward, walk them back in towards the body to help us lift up. Inhale, the arms go towards the sky. We'll turn the chest towards our left side and bring our right hand towards our left knee. We'll take our left hand and drop it down behind us or bring it around to our right hip. Now, starting with the lower abdomen first, turning over towards our left side. And then if you'd like, you can turn and look over that left shoulder, finding a little more rotation, a little higher up the spine. We'll slowly start to untwist and reach both arms up. With our next exhale, we'll turn towards our right side, drop the left hand down, circle the right around behind the body or towards our left hip. Start with the lower abdomen. And then we can start to twist higher up the spine by gently pulling us around and looking over our right shoulder. We'll slowly untwist again and bring the chest back around, lifting back up onto our seat, wiggling out to reset. Now, if we are up in a chair, we'll stay where we are. If we are seated down on the floor or on some other surface, we'll lengthen our right leg out in front of the body and set it down to the ground. Now, whichever variation we're in, we're going to pick up our left leg and drape it over our right about or just above the ankle, about halfway up the shin. Now, this may be enough of a stretch here, depending on the variation that you're in. If you're seated in a chair, we can gently press the left knee away and maybe even pull the bottom of our right foot in closer towards the body. Or we can start to walk our right foot in closer towards the body. And find the same variations here. Press the left knee away, maybe pull the right leg in. Now we have another option as well. This one will get rid of the right leg. We'll take it out long so it's not in our way. We'll wrap the arms around our left leg, cradling it up to the chest. And then we can find a little rocking side to side with that leg. Trying to move the leg and not the whole body. So we're not twisting or rocking side to side. We're moving the hip in the hip socket. Good, we'll come back to a more neutral. Take both legs back down. We can wiggle them around, bounce them out. And then whichever variation we're in, we'll pick up our right leg and drape it just above our left knee, just above our right ankle, finding our figure 4. And if you're in a chair, now you might want to press into the right knee, pull the right ankle closer. If you're seated on the ground, you might want to start walking that left leg in closer. Or you may want to find the hip rocks, whichever variation you're in, by wrapping your left hand around the bottom of your foot, your right hand to the knee, or bringing it in closer and interlocking the fingers if that is within your practice today. Focusing on moving the hip, not the whole body. And again, we'll lengthen our right leg back out, wiggle out both legs. Good. Now we're going to find a little bit of strength here with our quads. This is going to look a little different if you're seated in a chair than if you're on the floor, and that is okay. If you're in a chair, what we're going to do is pick up one foot off the floor. We can hold it for a while, or we can set it back down, lift and lower, lift and lower. We can even do marches and go back and forth. If our legs are long out in front of the body, we're going to shift back slightly so we find our core engagement, and we'll lift. And again, we can hold. We can find slight bounces, lifting and lowering. Or we can find marches. Lift one, lower it down, lift the other, lower it down. Finding a variation that works for you. If you're doing one leg at a time, continue that leg and I'll tell you when to switch. Reaching tall with the top of the head. Continuing to take deep breaths here. If you're doing one leg at a time, switch out your legs now. If you're marching, keep on marching. Good, and you can drop both legs down and wiggle out some more. If we're seated, we can pull the feet back in. If we're seated in a chair, replant the feet below you and sit up nice and tall in your seat. Now we're going to bring our hands to our rib cage. You should be able to feel some ribs under your hands. If you don't, maybe bring your hands up a little bit higher if you can. And we're going to find some circles of the spine, but we're trying to move with just what's above our hands. So it's not going to be much of a circle motion, but just a little bit. Trying to keep the lower spine, the hips where they are. And we'll start to circle around in one direction. And then we'll switch and circle around the other direction. Good, and back to center. Now we can drop our hands to our knees, or we can drop our hands to our hips if you liked that feedback you got from holding onto the area we were moving. But we're going to continue with our circles, this time using the whole of the spine or moving more from our hips. So these will be bigger circles than before. Sending the chest forward, out to our sides, back, behind, and around. And then switch directions and circle around the other way. And we'll come back to center again. If our hands are not on our knees, we'll move them to our knees, and we're going to find some seated cat-cows. We kind of did this before when we were using our elbows to move out in front of the body and then back behind the body. So it'll be the same kind of motion as that. With our in-breath, we'll press our chest forward, send the eyes up the wall in front of us, and send the hips back. With our exhale, we'll curl in towards center, press back through the spine, bring chin to chest. And we'll move back and forth with our breath. Inhale to find length and lift. Exhale to curl and press the breath out. And we'll come back to center again. Now with our right arm, we'll reach it over towards our left side. With our left arm, we can cross halfway down our forearm and gently pull our right arm in closer to our chest. Slowly releasing. And we'll swap sides. Take the left across the right. Use the right to gently pull it in a little closer towards the body. Slowly release it out again. And for the next thing we're going to do, move your arms all around you. Make sure you're not going to hit anything or hit anything hard. And we're going to move our right arm up towards the sky and our left arm down and away from the body. And then we'll swap, moving our left arm up and our right arm away. Now, the more that we can really let the arms swing, the better. But if you cannot or are not feeling big swings, moving the arms in opposite directions is wonderful as well. So swing the arms and swing back, moving at your own pace. Moving the lymphatic system around. Creating some more warmth in our core. All right, we can come back to center. Let the arms run out of momentum and find our tall seat again. Wiggling the toes, pressing down into the sit bones, lifting tall through the spine, bringing the shoulders over the hips, and gently pulling the chin in a little closer so the ears are over the shoulders. We'll drop the shoulders a little further away from the ears, close the eyes, and take a few deep breaths here. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy. Thank you.